just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber.
Alert, alert, he is detected.
The fact that it was Ketanji Brown Jackson, the Supreme Court judge who just paused SNAP benefits from being dispersed, is just, it's mind-boggling, and it just shows what direction we are headed in this country. It's sad, it's nasty, it's disrespectful, and literally I just lost so much respect for her. Like, we literally forget where we come from when we get into positions of powers, and that is what just makes it so much more devastating to see someone of her rank go and say, you know what, I think this is the right thing to do. You wanting to starve millions of American families is the right thing to do. And we know most of the recipients that receive SNAP is the working class people. What are you thinking?
Ladies and gentlemen, I think I've given up hope on people because these are some of the dumbest people you will ever see. Look how quickly they turned on Ketanji Brown Jackson. Ketanji betrayed us. How dare she? Like that SOB. She sold out for MAGA. She supports white supremacy. This is the black face of white supremacy striking again. Like, man, these people are so goddamn stupid, man. And saying she's not one of us. She not invited to the cookout no more. She kicked out of the cookout. She not black for real. We knew that she was going to do this. We knew it was just a matter of time till she put her MAGA hat on. You know what, guys? First, I'll show you these people's meltdowns, and then we'll get into the actual story here about what really is going on. By the way, guys, there's a new feature on YouTube where you can hype videos. So be sure to like the video, hype the video. It helps out a lot. Appreciate you.
The Supreme Court has sided with Donald Trump and paused a court order requiring Donald Trump to release SNAP benefits for the month of November. This clears up all the confusion about who the bad guy is. We don't need to see no more videos of anybody blaming the Democrats for nothing.
The Republicans have voted 15 times to open your government, and the Democrats have voted 15 times to close it.
Baby, the fucking Supreme Court caved, and Ketanji Brown Jackson was a part of the fucking situation. So, you will not be receiving your full SNAP benefits this month. They're sending it back down to the First Circuit courts to rehash the situation. Honestly, I thought the Supreme Court would have stopped this shit. They would have stopped him in his tracks and said, no, while y'all figuring out shit, we're gonna go ahead and give the people what they need to survive for the month.
While the Trump administration insists that it cannot spend money it doesn't have. This, as they send, I don't know, $40 billion to Argentina and find plenty of money to fund ICE and White House renovations and Trump's travel and golf trips and all that.
If he said you can't have it so you can suffer, and then someone backdoors and said, oh, you can have it, he's not having it. They wanted to hurry up and make a decision before all the funds go out and they can't get it back. They wanted to hurry up and make sure that you guys didn't get your food and you couldn't feed your children. Rush to make that decision.
So yet again, people responding emotionally, don't know anything about government, don't understand any facts, didn't even bother researching what the hell is even going on, or sitting up here having unhinged meltdowns about how Trump doesn't want to support Americans. Ketanji Brown Jackson doesn't either. She doesn't care if people go hungry. It's the Republicans' fault. It's not the Democrats' fault, even though they won't open up the government, but it's somehow President Trump's fault. Here's what really is going on, guys. The funds don't even add up to enough. The emergency funds don't even add up to enough to pay the full amount. President Trump was ordered to pay the full amount to fully fund SNAP benefits. He wasn't ordered to just use the full amount available. He was ordered to fully fund SNAP benefits, which is impossible to do because the money doesn't exist. The problem is there is money in some other places that are allocated for other things. If you take money and start putting it into SNAP, then you taking money from somewhere else that's also funded where it's illegal for the presidents to do so.
Can you help clear up some confusion about SNAP benefits? Because the president just posted that they will only be given out when the radical left Democrats open the government and not before. But just yesterday, the administration said it would comply with the court order to expend the full amount of SNAP and contingency funds by end of business day yesterday. So did the administration distribute that money or defy that court order?
No, the administration is fully complying with the court order. I just spoke to the president about it. The recipients of these SNAP benefits need to understand it's going to take some time to receive this money because the Democrats have forced the administration into a very untenable position. We are digging into a contingency fund that is supposed to be for emergencies, catastrophes, for war. And the president does not want to have to tap into this fund in the future, and that's what he was referring to in his Truth Social post. So the Department of Agriculture, as for the latest SNAP payment in the judge's order, put out guidance to states today on how to get that money to the recipients of SNAP. But it's going to take some time. The best way to get the full amount of SNAP benefits to those beneficiaries is for Democrats to reopen the government. So to anyone who is a SNAP beneficiary at home who needs that assistance, and the president was just saying, this is for people who are truly needy, who need food, who need this assistance from the United States government. Democrats are holding it up and making it difficult for the administration to get those payments out the door. So if you are at home and you want your SNAP benefits, call the Democrats and tell them to reopen the government.
Blocking that contingency fund for the future if this shutdown lingers on?
Look, the president does not want to have to continue to dip into a contingency fund that doesn't even have enough money, by the way, to fund the full program. It takes $9 billion to get the full scale of the benefits out the door. This contingency fund only has about $5 billion in it. So again, Democrats need to reopen the government so we can get these benefits out the door for people who truly need them.
He literally asked for legal guidance on how you suggest that he does it legally without getting himself in trouble and having a Democrat sue him for something else that he did inappropriate. And the court literally said, well, we don't know, but we'll get back to you.
Through social post, he says that the judges need to clarify how they can legally fund SNAP. I had a long discussion with some very well-placed sources earlier today. It is the position of the Republicans that the contingency funds are not allowed by Congress, are not legally allowed to be used for SNAP benefits. So the question would be, can the court effectively not overrule a decision by the president, which is what Democrats are saying this is, but overrule how the contingency fund was put in place? And they're making the point that this is separate from how the contingency funds are used to pay the U.S. military, because DOD is given a lot more discretion, or Department of War is given a lot more discretion in how they use their contingency fees. So I think that's why you're seeing this very careful language by the president, which basically says the court needs to tell us how we can legally do this. They're saying their hands are tied.
So that went up to the Supreme Court. Ketanji Brown Jackson said, wait a minute, no, if you're going to tell him to do it, I'm not in disagreement with telling him to do it, but if you want to tell him to do it, you got to tell him how. If you can't tell him how, then because you don't want to get in legal trouble, that's the reason they don't want to do it, then you can't force him to do it if you don't have a legal means for him to do something. The fact of the matter is that it's illegal to do so. Not to mention is judicial overreach for the judicial branch to tell him exactly how he needs to spend money, when he needs to spend money, and how much of the money he needs to spend, whereas the majority of this was really originally allocated from Congress anyway. Even during shutdowns, the president is still limited. He can't just take all the money and just use it however the hell he wants during government shutdowns. That's just not how it works. Guys, we'll see what the courts say on Monday, if they actually provide a method in which President Trump could do this. I think because they're a bunch of pussies, they're going to say partial payments is fine, and hopefully the government opens back up quickly within this month, heading into Thanksgiving and Christmas, but we'll see what they say. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out. Big shout out to my members, 655, Cat 3309, and Noodle. Could not do it without you.
Look, Jackie, it's an absurd ruling because you have a federal judge effectively telling us what we have to do in the midst of a Democrat government shutdown. They should stop this charade and open up the government. That's what we want them to do. We've been asking them to do it for 40 days. It's time.